3 years into this job, a deployment failed halfway through and left the environment in a broken, half-updated state. It was 2 a.m. and I genuinely thought I'd broken production. My hands were actually shaking. I had a certification that said I was qualified for this. It hadn't taught me a single thing about what I was looking at. I've spent 14 years in cloud since that night. I'm AZ 400 certified now, and I still think about that 2 a.m. the same way. Here are 5 things I wish someone had told me before it happened, starting with the one that caused it. Lesson 1. That night is when I realized confidence and competence aren't the same thing. I'd passed an exam, I felt ready. What that 2 a.m. actually taught me is that ready and tested are 2 different feelings, and I'd only ever experienced the second one. The exam gives you multiple choice. Pick the right answer from 4 options. Production gives you a broken system, incomplete logs, and a deadline. Nothing about the format prepares you for the second one, and I didn't know that until I was standing in it. I happened to have a certification going into that night. What actually surprised me wasn't that the exam had gaps. It's how different real production felt from anything that had made me feel ready for it. What I wish I knew. Confidence built in a study session and confidence built at 2 a.m. in a broken system are not the same currency. Go earn the second kind on purpose, in a real environment before you need it. That's the first one. The one that actually surprised me is coming up in a minute. It's about something almost nobody in this field talks about. Lesson 2, and this is the direct follow-up to that night. It took almost 4 hours to recover that environment, and I learned more about infrastructure state management in those 4 hours than in the previous 6 months of courses combined. Here's what I didn't expect. The fear didn't go away after that. What changed is I stopped being afraid of the incident itself and started being afraid of not learning from it. Every outage you survive without making it worse is a lesson no course sells. The engineers who stay calm during outages aren't naturally fearless. They're calm because they've been through enough of these nights to trust themselves. Lesson 3. I wish I'd said I don't know a lot earlier, and a lot more often. For years, admitting I didn't know something felt like it made me look junior, even long after I wasn't junior anymore. So I'd nod along in meetings, then go figure it out alone afterward, sometimes taking twice as long as it would have taken to just ask. The turning point was realizing the engineers I respected most said, "I don't know, let me find out," without any hesitation. It wasn't a weakness. It built more trust than pretending ever did. What I wish I knew, imposter syndrome doesn't go away when you get better, it just changes shape. Senior engineers still say, "I don't know." They've just stopped being ashamed of it. Lesson 4. Automating something you don't fully understand doesn't save you time. It postpones the pain and makes it bigger. Early in my Terraform days, I pulled community modules for networking and security setups without fully reading what they provisioned. It worked, until a module changed a default in a minor version bump and silently altered a network security rule. It took me half a day to trace back because I never actually understood what that module was doing underneath. What I wish I knew, automation is supposed to remove repetitive manual work, not remove your understanding of the system. If you can't explain what a module, a pipeline, or a script does in plain language, you're not automating. You're gambling. Lesson 5. Technical skill gets you respected. Communication gets your impact noticed, and only one of those actually moves your career forward. For a long stretch of my career, I believed if I just got good enough technically, recognition would follow automatically. It doesn't work that way. I watched engineers who communicated their impact clearly move into leadership faster, not because they were more skilled, but because the right people actually knew what they were working on. What I wish I knew, document your wins. Not to brag, but so the value you're creating is actually visible to the people making decisions. Being the best engineer in a room nobody's watching doesn't move your career. It just makes you tired. Every one of these 5 lessons traces back to that same night. Before your first 2 a.m. outage, I wish someone had told me, confidence and competence aren't the same thing. Go find that out on your own terms, not at 2 a.m. If you're early in your cloud career, tell me in the comments which of these 5 hit hardest. I post real Azure, DevOps, and career content 3 times a week. Subscribe if you want more of this. See you in the next one.